welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom, and it is time for a book review. You know, we do this every Monday, or at least we try. And I'm revisiting an author I always enjoy. I can't say there haven't been a few of her books that were hard for me to get into, but I love that she's still writing. I have books of hers from, you know, the 80s, I have them from the 90s, This woman just kicks butt, and I love her stories. So I was going to do one of her trilogies, but I decided not to bore you guys tonight, so I'm just doing one of her novels. And our author of today is Nora Roberts. She's amazing. I'm sorry, she is great. When I became an adult, I still didn't read very much. And while I was pregnant with my first, I just got into reading with one of her books. It used to take me forever to read a book, and I got into one of her books and just read it just for the heck because I was bored and you know, I needed something to take my mind off everything going on. And I gotta say, I got hooked. I read, when it used to take me for a 300-page book, it would take me months, at least 1 month, to get through a book. I got through her book in 3 days. This was a 500-page story that I just loved. Now this book is one I read, you know, down the line. And it is Nora Roberts' The Obsession. And this one is pretty awesome. I love the storyline and the character development because it starts off with a young girl discovering her dad's a serial killer by finding one of his victims. And not only did this little girl, who was just a few days short of being like 12, I think, she found his victim. She helped her. The girl he had kidnapped, she helped her escape, get to the police, get her father arrested. And because of this, all of the media that came about it and all the upheaval of, you know, a mother who couldn't deal to a father who's just being infamous and trying to be there for a younger brother, it's amazing to see how this poor, you know, little girl has to grow up so quick. And how, because of this tragedy, she gets to connect with her uncle, who's going to end up, for the most part, him and his partner, for a better word, his later on husband, end up mostly raising the kids. And this is all about how, you know, she goes from that, you know, turning point in her life to when she's 16 and more drama, more incredible, you know, tragedy hits her again. How she goes from that 12-year-old girl to the 16-year-old girl to finally it shows her being a young woman of 29, I think. I'm sorry, I'm not getting all the details. Sorry, guys. Cats. Not all the details, obviously, but as you can probably guess, I've got a ton of books. But in Obsession, she finally ends up moving, buying a house. She's become a photographer, and she's pretty much been on the move since she got out of college. She has just, you know, constantly on the move, on the move, on the move. And she finally settles down on the West Coast. Buys this beautiful house up in, you know, Oregon. You know, small town living, loves it. She's, you know, she's not really used to people anymore, so she's very much a loner. And it's all about the upheaval of finding a dog that has been pretty much on its own for a while. Starting a relationship when she's not sure she can have relationships. She's, you know, and then through all this craziness, there's a serial killer. And it's like, can she not get a break? So, and we're going to eventually find out that the serial killer has been following her, is obsessed with her. And it's just, it is crazy, but the main character, Naomi, she's just such a wonderful character development. I love seeing her go from this traumatized little girl to this, you know, taking life full head on as a teenager, which, you know, a lot of teens out there, they all think they're right, but once they get handed a real dose of the real world reality, you know, it kind of throws them. So she's still pushing through to being an adult who has, because of all these upheavals in her life, is kind of very closed in, very loner, very, you know, not unsure, who ends up opening up because people around her are not going to let her stay this closed in little person. And it all starts with rehabbing a house she bought. And it's just amazing to see her realize that she can have these connections, she can have these friends, she can have this life, and accepting that just because somebody's obsessed with her doesn't make her at fault for what is happening. And I think for a lot of us that's hard, because I don't know if we're just programmed that way as people, but a lot of times we take on the responsibility of those around us instead of acknowledging that everybody's responsible for themselves. So it was just, again, it was a wonderful story, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope if you guys happen to read Nora Roberts, I hope you give The Obsession a chance. I hope you give any of her books a chance. And she's a really great author to read. And if you haven't tried her yet, please give her a try. And again, guys, a book is never a waste of time. Unless you get obsessive and are like me and my kids, and it gets in the way of doing other stuff. But again, read a book, find an author, and really experience the story, because these authors who, whether they're super famous or they're just somebody new you're trying, they put a little bit of themselves out there when they make these stories, and they're giving us an escape. They're giving us a window into a different possibility. And it's just, again, guys, if romance isn't your thing, try out a bunch of other books, because again, they're so amazing, and they're always a friend you can revisit. So please leave any comments below. Tell me what you thought of her book, or give me some recommendations for other authors. But I hope you guys will tune in for some of our other videos. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.